If you've been making pot roast in a crock pot, you're doing it all wrong. This is how you're supposed to be doing it. So excited about this brand new 5-quart Dutch oven from Lancaster Cast Iron. Let's open up this box. We're going to go over a few key features of this Dutch oven, and then I'm going to be cooking up a beautiful pot roast. This is going to be delicious. Nicely packaged. This card here gives you all the information you need to know about caring for your brand new Dutch oven and how to keep it as nice as the day you got it. In fact, like any cast iron, this continues to get better. I'm going to go ahead and pull off the lid. Look at this. Beautiful brass handle. These are made in Lancaster, Pennsylvania and guaranteed for life. First feature I'm noticing on this lid is it's got these grooves here. These are self-basting grooves. So this way, as the liquids come up, it's going to hit the groove and it's going to fall back down and cover all of your meat. So perfect for braising. The other thing I did want to point out is that this lid fits perfectly on your number 8 skillet if you've already got one of those. So keep that in mind if you decide to invest in a high quality Dutch oven like this. It's going to be compatible with your number 8 skillet. Now let's get this out. Beautiful, smooth finish, just like all of Lancaster Cast Iron's products. Perfect craftsmanship, nice machining. Also, looks as good as it functions. I love the castings in the bottom of these. In case you're wondering, this is 8.5-inch diameter. The depth is 4 inches. The total weight is 13.5 pounds. And of course, it holds 5 quarts. This comes pre-seasoned, but I am going to go ahead and wipe this down with a little bit of avocado oil. We're going to heat it up and give it a quick season before we start cooking. You may have heard that you cannot cook acidic foods like tomato-based products in a cast iron pan, but that's completely wrong. You do, though, want to make sure you've got thorough seasoning on it before you do that. So for the first few cooks, try to avoid anything that's high in acid. And I always recommend after an acidic cook, just go ahead and re-season your pans. Just wipe them down a little bit of oil, heat them up, and they'll be just as good. This is pre-seasoned, so this step is unnecessary, but I like to get a head start on my seasoning anytime I get some new cast iron. I prefer to use avocado oil over other seed oils. I think it's a healthier choice. So we're just going to give this a good wipe down all the way around. In fact, we're going to pour some here in the skillet, and we'll just work out of there. You do not want to put too much on. You want just a thin coating on everything. Not sure if we're going to be able to actually season this lid much, but we're going to wipe a little bit on. Inside the pan is where I'm most worried about. We want to make sure we get a good coating on that. Man, I love this vintage style cast iron. It's so smooth. If you have not tried vintage style cast iron like this from Lancaster Cast Iron, you don't know what you're missing. It's definitely a little bit more money up front, but you're talking about lifetime investment. Remember, their products are guaranteed for life. So you're going to be passing these down to your kids probably, and maybe your grandkids. Man, just complete work of art these pans are. So excited to have another one in my collection. If you haven't seen my previous videos, I'll leave some links. I've got the number 8, the number 4, and the number 12. It's been a really great company. I'm so happy to have some more products from them. Small, independent, family-owned business. Whenever I can, I love supporting companies like that. Going to be seasoning this today outside here on my 2-burner stove. Going to get that on. Going to set that to medium-low heat. Just keep an eye on it. If there's any pooling of oil, we're going to wipe that off because, like I said, it's very important when you're seasoning cast iron not to have excessive oil because it can actually make it sticky. So we'll keep an eye on it if we need to. We'll wipe it up with the rag a little bit. And once it starts to get good and smoky, we're going to shut it off, let it cool completely, and then we're going to move on to this delicious pot roast. Been going for about 5 minutes or so. See, it's getting nice and smoky in there. Not too hot yet. I can still touch it, so it'll take a little bit longer. Starting to cook on the inside. I think about 5 more minutes. We're going to shut this off, let it cool, and then we'll start cooking. Went ahead and briefly just increased this temperature up to high, put a little bit more heat around the outside just because of the design of this burner. But I see some grease pooling here and there, so we're going to give this a quick wipe down with my cloth. And we're going to shut this heat off. Okay, heat's off now. That is it. We are good to go. Now, time to season up this chuck roast. This Dutch oven's heated back up. You know me, I like to keep it animal based. So if we're cooking, I always go with the animal fat. Today we're using some Bacon Up, which is just rendered and triple filtered shelf stable bacon grease. I'm gonna go in with about a tablespoon of that. Beef tallow or lard would be another great option for this cook, but definitely try to stay away from those seed oils like canola and soybean oil. Got this beautiful chuck roast here. We just seasoned up with some salt. We're gonna add some more flavor after we sear it. But when you're searing meat, you wanna go just salt so you don't burn it. Get that in. And you wanna press it down and make sure you get good contact all the way around. Gonna give this about 3 or 4 minutes. Once we get a nice crust, we'll flip it over. I'll check back when it's ready to flip. All right, let's give this a flip. Look at that. That is a beautiful crust. Here. All right, got a nice sear on this. Gonna go ahead and pull this off. Next, we're gonna go in with some onions. If you want, go ahead and add some celery and some carrots as well. That'll develop some terrific flavor. But today we're using just onions. I eat mostly carnivore, but I don't mind including some vegetables for flavor. So we're gonna go ahead and put these in there, let these brown up, get some nice color. Then we're gonna add some beef broth. Okay, that's looking good now. Gonna go ahead and add some beef broth. Put in about 2 cups. We'll let this reduce by half, then we'll add the chuck roast. Just been simmering here for about 3 or 4 minutes. It's nice and reduced. I went ahead and turned off the heat. I'm gonna go back in with that chuck roast right on top of those onions. That's gonna keep it out of the liquid and let it braise in the steam and not boil. This is the key step when you're making a pot roast or pulled beef or chuck roast, whatever you want to call this. It's a really important step in my opinion. Next, we're gonna add a little bit of seasoning. Gonna go in with some fresh cracked black pepper. Got my pepper can in here from Man Kitchen to do this. Makes quick work of grinding up some pepper. My secret ingredient here today is going to be this shiitake from Fire and Smoke. This is going to add a nice hit of umami. You don't need a lot of this. Just a real light coating of this will be perfect. Just like that. Got 2 pieces of fresh rosemary out of my garden. Of course, butter makes everything better. So we're going in with about 2 tablespoons of butter. And then we'll get the lid on. You know I'm a big fan of outdoor cooking. This Dutch oven from Lancaster Cast Iron will be perfect on the grill, the smoker, this propane burner I got outside. But the weather's starting to turn, so we're gonna go ahead and bring this inside, get our oven fired up, gonna keep our house warm. We're gonna set that to 250 degrees. It's 10 o'clock right now. By dinner time, this is gonna be perfectly cooked. If you wanna add potatoes or some carrots later on, just add those about an hour to an hour and a half before the meat's done, and they'll be perfectly tender. So I'll see you back here when it's ready to eat. It's now about 5 o'clock. I pulled this out of the oven about 20 minutes ago. Been sitting out here in the cool weather, still piping hot. First time I've opened this since I put it in the oven. Let's see how it turned out. Oh man, this looks beautiful. Can you see that nice bark that we developed even inside of this Dutch oven. Wow. Let's go in for the taste test now. We're gonna get a fork. We should be able to twist this out just like spaghetti. Yep, it's just perfect. This is gonna be so good. Now remember, I eat mostly carnivore, so I'm not gonna be adding vegetables to this, but that's entirely up to you. If you wanna add some potatoes, just remember about an hour to an hour and a half before it's done, go ahead and put them in. Time for the taste test. Oh my God. This is so juicy, so tender. This is perfectly cooked. Wow. Oh my God. Wow. I'm gonna get some of this plated up for myself. I'll show a quick video or picture of it, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of this broth and the meat, mix it together. I'm gonna melt a little cheese on top. I'm gonna eat it just like that. But this is a great base for a sandwich, or like I said, add some vegetables to it, or just eat it as it is. It's gonna be delicious. From what I can tell, this Lancaster Cast Iron Dutch oven performed perfectly. I'm gonna go ahead and show this again after I wash it, and we'll see how it held up. Thanks for watching. Head over to Instagram at RustyBBQLamb. Give me a follow over there. I'm posting content all the time over there. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you want to see me cook next. I'm gonna get one more bite. Man, thanks again. Just gave this Dutch oven a quick wipe down. I will go ahead and oil it before I put it away, but I just want to show you how well this seasoning held up in this Lancaster Cast Iron Dutch oven. No damage at all. But like I say, we're going to wipe this down really quick with some avocado oil just to protect it. This Dutch oven lives up to the quality I've come to expect from Lancaster Cast Iron. All their products are second to none. A little bit expensive up front, but it's a lifetime investment. Just keep that in mind. Thanks again for watching.